Ryusoulger is an interesting show. This is around the time where Sentai's ratings were starting to decline. I'll go in a little detail on it, but if you want to know more about it, you should go check out Lost in Tokusatsu's video. Link in the description. Basically, Gokaiger did really well. We all know that. So Toei thought Go Busters, their next show, would be just as popular. Unfortunately, that didn't end up happening, and Go Busters had the lowest toy sales since O-Ranger in 1995. Kishiryu was Toei's next big Sentai show and made up for the lack of toy sales Go Busters had by making a crazy dinosaur season, adding 10 Rangers, tons of mecha, and tons of collectible batteries. This was pretty much on par with Gokaiger on ratings, and people loved it. Unfortunately, since Kyoryuger, the ratings went down by a lot. Each year, minus 2016, Sentai's ratings went down until we got to Lupin Ranger vs. Pata Ranger. By then, Sentai's ratings had gone down so much that if the next one did worse, Sentai would pretty much have to be cancelled. So they did what they had to do. Basically copy what Kyoryuger did, except for a few things. And thus we get to Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger, the show that supposedly saved Super Sentai to get it where it is now. And yes, I know at the time of recording this, it's only been about a year since Ryusoulger ended, but if not for Ryusoulger doing better than the ones before it, we wouldn't have the 40th anniversary of Sentai this year. But was Ryusoulger really that good? Well, let's find out. Our series opens with the main heroes, Ko, Melto, and Asuna, getting handed their Ryusoulkins and Ryusouls. Ko gets scolded by his master for messing with someone in the woods before they get attacked by Cleon, one of the Druidons, who are the villains for the season. Now we get our theme song. It's good. That's it. I'm not very good at describing music. Our trio are told that they need to protect the temple along with their masters from the evil Druidons, who will come and attack. That night they sit down to think about it when the girl from earlier, named Yui, finds herself in the temple. The elder of the tribe tells Ko to go out in the morning and erase her memory. But before he can do that, a Minosaur is heading for the village, so Ko transforms to fight it. He meets up with Melto, Asuna, and their masters, but the Minosaur destroys the temple, making them lose their powers. Ko and his master go inside the temple, but run into Cleon and Tank Joe, Cleon's boss. They fight real hard, but end up getting beaten. Tank Joe is about to kill Ko, but right as he does, his master jumps right in front of the attack. Back with the Minosaur, Melto and Asuna aren't doing well either, considering their masters also get killed, protecting their students. But because of their masters dying, their Ryu souls are given power. Somehow. Letting Ko transform into Ryusoul Red and fight Tank Joe. But during the battle, the cave Ko's in crumbles on him and sends him into some cockpit. Outside the cave, Ko is revealed to be in a mysterious dinosaur mech. Because of this new power, Ko easily takes down the giant Minosaur. The elder tells them about the mechs that Ko was in, called Kishiryu, Tiramigo, Triken, and Ankyros. And I guess to fight nobody, Ko, Melto, and Asuna transform into the Ryusoulgers for the first time together. Before we get to episode 2, can we just appreciate the effort that Team Nihon used to make this April Fool's version of the episode? Well, I guess since the first episode, the Kishiryu have gone missing. So they have to find them before they can call them to fight. While they're dropping lore bombs, Yui is hiding behind them. She takes them to her house and asks her dad, Naohisa, if they can stay with them. Naohisa is a paleontologist who is studying the Kishiryu and Minosaurs. They continue their hunt for the Kishiryu, but get stopped when Melto thinks the sound he hears is the Kishiryu. But it just turns out to be a fencer. Ko thinks one of them could be one of their comrades that the elder told him about. But before they can do anything, a Minosaur attacks. Ko tries to use the Stank Soul to fight it, but, so I can see even Sentai has stooped down to this level of humor too. Well, Tank Joe ends up coming and taking the Minosaur back with him. It turns out that the fencer was actually the host for the Minosaur. You see, Minosaurs need to have a human host. They're created by Cleon, putting slime into someone's mouth. Then the Minosaur drains the host's energy until they die. And to save the person, they need to defeat the Minosaur. Or do they? We'll get to that later. But no time for that, because Tiramigo has been found and is fighting the giant Minosaur. It goes down, but they use the Minosaur's weakness to slow it down. It's not enough, though. But with the power of friendship, Ko heals Tiramigo, and it transforms into Kishiryu. With the help of this new form, he takes down the Minosaur. Later, Yui is seen with Cleon behind her, along with the two other Ryusoulgers training as someone comes up to them saying he's been looking for them. Tiramigo leads the Ryusoulgers to the other two Kishiryu. Oh, also, Ko can use the Shrink Soul to turn Tiramigo small. Probably another thing I should have wrote in the script that I didn't. Yui is seen at her house exhausted as a Minosaur appears. The Ryusoulgers go to fight it, but it ends up turning Ko into stone when he looks at it. Melto and Asuna don't know how to fight the Minosaur without looking at it, but then the green and black Ryusoulgers come and fight off the foot soldiers. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this, but the Druidons have their own foot soldiers called Druid Soldiers. I probably didn't even have to mention their names because of how little impact they have on the story in these episodes. While I was explaining this, we found out that Yui was the host for the Minosaur. Back at the house, the green and black Ryusoulgers, named Toa and Bamba, tell them about the Minosaurs. Remember when I said there was only one way to save a host for the Minosaur? Well, there's another way, and that's to stop the Minosaur by killing the host. If the host dies, then the Minosaur will also die. Of course, they aren't going to let them kill Yui, so the only other way to stop it is by defeating it. Oh, also, Bamba freed Ko with one of the Ryusoulgers. So much for suspense. Hearing everything they said, Yui goes to, trying to put this into words that are monetization friendly. Screw it. She goes to kill herself. Asuna goes to stop her, and shock of all shocks, it works! The Minosaur grows giant and is turning everyone into stone. So Ko calls Tiramigo and transforms into Kishiryu. But this Minosaur seems a little too strong for just Tiramigo. So Ko and Asuna call on their Kishiryu to combine into Kishiryu 3 Knights. This is a really cool mecha, and it's one of the first ones in a while that is actually able to run. Seriously, when's the last time a mecha could run? Not sure about the Lego theme they got going for all the mecha in this season, though. Well, they defeat the Minosaur and save Yui while doing it. Oh, and I just realized in all of this, I forgot to talk about the ending theme. Well... Toa and Bamba are looking for their Kishiryu when they find Ko with a map that he took from Naohisa. Toa challenges Ko to a battle for the map, which ends up being a leaf carving battle. Then a rock, paper, scissors match. Unfortunately, their epic duel is interrupted by a Minosaur showing up. The three go to help Melto and Asuna fight it. They try to fight, but Ko and Toa keep fighting each other instead of fighting the Minosaur. Because of their fighting, the Minosaur gets away. At the hospital, they find out that this Minosaur's host is a child, and because they don't want to kill a kid, Toa and Bamba agree to have Ko, Melto, and Asuna help them find their Kishiryu. Although their hunt gets interrupted by the Minosaur returning, this time being giant. They bring out Kishiryu 3 Knights, but the Minosaur ends up overpowering them. Ko then decides to play rock, paper, scissors, and tag with the giant Minosaur. Great thinking, Ko. But there is a reason for this. 1, to show off how amazing this mecha is, and 2, to get it to break open the cave Toa's Kishiryu named Tigerlance is trapped in. With this new Kishiryu, it combines with Kishiryu 3 Knights to become Kishiryu Tigerlance. Taking down the Minosaur, after the battle, Bamba is seen with his Kishiryu, Mill Needle. The Ryusoulgers find out that Cleon is the one responsible for the Minosaurs, so Toa and Bamba go to defeat him, but are stopped by Druid soldiers. The other Ryusoulgers come to help them, but just as they come, Tank Joe is there to stop them. And stop them he does. Even the 5 Ryusoulgers together can't handle Tank Joe's power. And to make it even worse, a Minosaur is sent down and bites Toa. But this is no ordinary bite. The bite injects the victim with poison. Later, Tank Joe returns as a giant, and the remaining 4 Ryusoulgers go to stop him in Kishiryu 3 Knights, as Bamba goes to fight the Minosaur. As you could probably guess, Kishiryu doesn't do that well against giant Tank Joe. So Bamba comes to help them after defeating the Minosaur to combine Mill Needle with Kishiryu 3 Knights to form Kishiryu Mill Needle, defeating Tank Joe. Oh, wait, never mind, he's back. At the house, they expect to see Toa healed due to the Minosaur being defeated, but he's not. And that's because they never actually killed the Minosaur. What's with the Ryusoulgers getting duped this episode? Oh yeah, also the bite is slowly killing Toa. I guess it's kind of necessary to bring up. Bamba goes to fight Cleon, but they find out that the bite from the Minosaur is contagious, and he and Asuna are poisoned. Kel and Melto go to get a part of the Minosaur for an antidote for the poison, but it gets more difficult when the poison starts to affect the two of them as well. But by outsmarting the Minosaur, Ko manages to pull out one of its fangs. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. The two go to the elder of the Ryusoulger tribe to make an antidote, healing the five of them. And with the five of them all together, we get our first full team roll call. And they combine all of their Kishiryu together to form Kishiryu 5 Knights. And, they certainly took 3 knights and added the other 2 to it. I guess forget what I said about the mecha being mobile. Don't get me wrong, it looks cool, but it just kind of breaks the theme of the mecha being super mobile. And with this super fancy new mecha combination, of course, they defeat Tank Joe once and for all. Well, that was, in my opinion, the season's 6-part beginning. Since we have all the Ryusoulgers together now, I think it's finally time for me to talk about the suits. I love the Ryusoulger suits. They just look so cool. There are certain themes when it comes to suits that I'll always love. Ninjas, dinosaurs, and that's about it that I can think of off the top of my head. But I won't say my thoughts for right now because we're not done with the video yet. We've only done the first 6 episodes. We've still got 10 more to go with some pretty big story details in them. Most of them are filler, though, and I say filler in quotes. Episode 7 starts out with Toa and Mamba saving someone from the Druidons, only for her to know about them. Ko and Yui get involved with a Minosaur who can make people fall asleep, but Ko manages to get out because of the earplug she gave him earlier. He ends up running into another Minosaur on its way out, but this is no random Minosaur. This is Ryusoulger, one of the Druidon bosses, and he's controlling kids to protect him so Ko can't get to him. Back at the house, we find out the person Toa and Mamba saved earlier is actually Cardina, the princess of planet Sepius, and she starts singing. When did Ryusoulger turn into a musical? But this has a point, because Ko says he heard the same song at the amusement park. Cardina's sister Fido was taken by the Druidons, and she wants the Ryusoulgers to get her back. They go to the amusement park only to find Cleon and Druidsoldiers. Ryusoulger also summons the kids to get in the Ryusoulgers' way, as the giant Minosaur shows up as well. And apparently Cardina's singing can bring the kids back. Alright then. So with the kids gone, Ko, Melta, and Asuna summon Kishiryu 3 Knights, while Toa and Bamba go to help the kidnapped people. Leaving Yui to take care of everyone, they go back to the others to form Kishiryu 5 Knights. They get close to destroying it, but fail when they see a child in the Ferris wheel behind it. After the battle, Fida is reunited with Cardina, but Melta finds it weird that she knows about the Kishiryu when they never told her about them. All 7 of them go to a hideout where an energy source for the Kishiryu is located. Unfortunately for them, Ryusoulger and the Druidsoldiers show up to stop them. With the Ryusoulgers stopping them, Cardina and Fida get the energy source. Back at the house, they tell the Ryusoulgers to summon their Kishiryu to get them the energy source. Melto and Bamba are heavily skeptical about this, so they all meet up to discuss what they should do. At the house, they find out that Ryusoulger is in disguise as Fida, and the energy source will kill the Kishiryu. Wait, are we just going to skim past that? Ryusoulger knows where they all live. I'm surprised he didn't take advantage of that. I don't know who's more stupid in this situation. Or is it just me that's overthinking this? Ko comes with Kishiryu for him to eat the energy source. Oh god, I sound like Void Knight right now with the whole energy source thing. The giant Minosaur is back, and the Ryusoulgers come with Kishiryu 5 Knights, which blows up from the energy source. But they thought ahead and made double throw the Kishiryu with the Duplicil. They then find out that the Minosaur absorbed the real Fida. And I bet you can guess what happens next. They form Kishiryu 5 Knights and defeat the Minosaur. Wait, they don't? Asuna comes down and sings really bad because Fida is allergic to bad singing. I admit I did not expect that. Good job, Ryusoulger. Here's where I want to bring up a short topic. To you, what's the definition of filler? Well, to me, filler is when they need to stretch out a certain story arc to correspond with a certain event. Think of it like Pokemon. In Pokemon, they always need to have the anime correspond with that generation of games that are out. Therefore, to keep up with that strict schedule, they need to make filler episodes that serve no purpose. And trust me, they can be really pointless. I'll put a link in the description to one of Suede's reviews of one Pokemon episode where he talks about how pointless certain filler episodes can be. Toku doesn't really have filler. Sure, they need to have it end around a certain time every year, but that doesn't mean it has to be filler. Remember Kamen Rider Decade? That show only lasted till the end of August that same year it began, which is currently the only Toku show I know to do that outside of the schedule. The only reason it did that? Well, they didn't need 50 episodes to tell a decade story. And I know I'm bringing up Kamen Rider a lot in a Sentai review, but look at Kamen Rider Gaim and Kamen Rider Build as well. They had no filler episodes, and every episode added to the story, except for episodes that were promoting movies like the Kikaider reboot and the Gaim Summer movie. No filler needed to fit into that airing schedule. Ryusoulger, I feel, is the same as these, at least in this stretch of episodes. Not as story focused as Gamer Build, but every episode, even if it doesn't add a brand new toy for kids to collect, develops characters more and gives them more of a reason to care about them more. And this is exactly why Cure Major and Forze are in my top 10 toku I've ever watched. And this is shown in the next episode of Melto. Wow, that went on longer than I thought it would. Ko, Melto, and Asuna are trying to figure out fighting strategies, but Ko and Asuna aren't cooperating with Melto, so now he suggests they go on a treasure hunt that's happening in the area. Toa also has to be going to it as well, but when they go in, they get closed and a Weisel and a Minotaur are behind it. Unaware of what's happening in the outside world, the four Ryusoulgers find out that the treasure chest in the area can make whoever opens its wishes come true. Melto, being the only one not sucked up by the greed of the treasure chest, drags Ko with him to find out what's going on, only to leave when Ko continues to not cooperate with him and not listen to his ideas. In the forest, Melto sees an illusion of Master Blue, telling him that he should trust his friends. Well, yeah, but they could at least listen to his ideas and not treat him like a moron. Their conversation is stopped, though, by Drune-soldiers and Minosaurs from Toa's wish. But the only way to defeat them is to kill them both with one attack. Ko and Asuna meet up with them as both Minosaurs grow giant. They use Kishiryu Triken. Triken? Is it Triken or Triken? I'm going to call it Triken. And using its two hands, it defeats both of them at once. Wait, couldn't Melto just do that before they grew giant? Well, whatever. It turns out the real Minosaur is a treasure chest that sent them to the other dimension, but it can't be broken. Fortunately, Bomba comes with the box that the Minosaur was made from. He destroys it and the day is saved. Bomba didn't really do much in this episode, did he? Episode 10 starts out with Ko, Melto, and Asuna having fun at an amusement park. Asuna goes back in to get something when someone helps her when she's harassed by some people. The three fight a Minosaur, and the person from earlier ends up helping Asuna again. But then we find out that he's the Minosaur's host. Back at the house, they're trying to figure out how to beat the Minosaur, but no one's listening to Asuna, so she runs off. Wait, this sounds familiar. The Minosaur's host jumps in the way, saying he's fine, and if he dies, it means no one's getting hurt. The Minosaur returns, but as Asuna goes to check on the host while the others fight it. Weisel comes to fight Asuna and almost knocks the host off the roof they're on. While this is happening, the Minosaur grows giant. Because Asuna isn't there to help them, Ko calls Kishiryu, eventually forming Kishiryu again, with the names. What is it? Is it Enkiros or Ankyros? I'm going to call it Ankyros. Why not? To defeat the Minosaur. But with Weisel and Cleon, they're planning something big. I don't know why I wrote it like that. That did not sound like English in real life. Weisel and Cleon have found a new Kishiryu, Dime Volcano, who only works with people if they can solve riddles. A Minosaur attacks that can put people into illusions, which makes Ko, Melto, and Asuna think each other are Drune-soldiers. Toa and Bomba stumble across Weisel and Cleon, struggling to solve Dime Volcano's riddles. At the house, Naohisa somehow gives random exposition about Dime Volcano in his sleep. I wonder if this will get explained later. And everyone just assumes Melto can answer the riddles. Yeah, I didn't think that would work. Dime Volcano then goes to a sick boy named Haruto's window to tell him riddles. He befriended Haruto because he can't see him, so he can't see that he's a giant, scary metal dinosaur. I mean, I would think that'd be cool. But everyone's different. While Ko and Dime Volcano were having a conversation, Weisel kidnapped Haruto for Dime Volcano to work for them. But after answering Dime Volcano's riddle, Ko gets access to the Burning Soul and transforms into Ryusoul Red Burning Armor, defeating the Minosaur and saving Haruto. Now, Ryusoulger has had power-ups before this, but they were mostly just upgrades that they had used one time in the show and never else. This is technically the first power-up that Ryusoulger gets, and I like it. It adds to the Ryusoulger suits and especially works with Ryusoul Red's colors. Episode 12 starts with Weisel and Cleon remembering the last battle when Toa and Bomba show up. Wow, is it just me or does it seem like Toa and Bamba do most of the finding in this show? A giant Minosaur shows up, and the other three Ryusoulgers fight it. Strangely, though, Tiramigo comes without Ko calling him. Tiramigo isn't following commands, though, and he gets taken down. So Ko calls on Dime Volcano. But he gets, let's just say, distracted by the Minosaur's illusions. Oh, yeah, the Ryusoulgers got duped again with the Minosaur last episode. Toa gets rid of the illusion and snaps Dime Volcano out of it. Even though he doesn't see the illusion anymore, he still isn't doing the best. So Ko helps out Tiramigo, and Kishiryu combines with Dime Volcano to form Kishiryu Dime Volcano. Very creative with the names here. But this Minosaur is apparently unbeatable because it makes an illusion to make itself look like Yui, and then Asuna, and then Melto. This guy can literally turn into anything to slow the opponent down. Well, with his brand new toy, Ko finishes off the Minosaur and the day is saved. Again. But, at the end, a mysterious purple Ryusoulger comes up to Weisel, who calls himself the mysterious wandering suit of armor. Geysorg. Episode 13 has the Ryusoulgers wondering if the Prime Minister is a part of the Ryusoul tribe because of pictures of her that are from way back in time. Which, she is. We find out that she's the host of the Minosaur that is attacking, and she wants it to kill her because she doesn't age alongside her husband. The Ryusoulgers beside Bamba get out to fight the Minosaur, but it can make people tell the truth. The attack hits Asuna and she hurts Melto's feelings with the truth. Oh no. Then it grows giant and they get Tiramigo and Dime Volcano to find it. But oh no! The Minosaur hits the two with the attack and Tiramigo says how much he hates Dime Volcano. Except no, he doesn't, because he immediately apologizes. They form Kishiryu Dime Volcano and defeat the Minosaur. The Prime Minister learns her lesson. End of episode. If you couldn't tell throughout that synopsis, I wasn't a very big fan of this episode. I know I said earlier that Toku doesn't really have filler, and this is just one of the few exceptions. It is just way too formulaic, and throughout the entire episode, I just thought, what was the point of all that? The Minosaur attacks. Asuna gets hit by the beam and hurts Melto's feelings and apologizes. The Minosaur grows and the same thing happens, but with the Kishiryu. They combine, defeat the Minosaur. End of episode. This episode is pretty much just the definition of filler. Nothing happens here. And it doesn't even develop anyone's character other than Asuna not liking to listen to Melto's ideas. That we already knew from episode 9. But that was all just to prepare us for the next episode. And oh boy, we got some big stuff to cover here. While Weisel and Cleon are decorating their base, a new commander named Gachirias shows up and takes Cleon with him. Dang, Cleon just seems like he's the monkey in the middle of all the commanders. At the house, the team learns about the legend of Urashima Taro and wonders if he could be a part of the Ryusoul tribe. I'll leave a link in the description to the Wikipedia article on it if you guys don't know what it is. You would find someone who's about to give a rose to somebody, but this isn't any ordinary person. When a Minosaur shows up, he pulls out a gun and transforms into a gold Ryusoulger. After the fight, the gold Ryusoulger finds out that the person he met earlier has a boyfriend, and that person is also the host of the Minosaur. Yui tells them about the gold Ryusoulger, so Ko and Asuna go after him, but he tells them he's more interested in fighting a wife than protecting the Earth. Because of how well a Minosaur that the Ryusoulgers fought did, Gachirias tells Cleon to make a bunch more of those. The gold Ryusoulger, whose name is Kanalo, which I probably should have brought up earlier, comes to talk to Akane, the person who's connected to the Minosaur's host. The Minosaur returns to fight the Ryusoulgers, and they're having just as hard a time as last time. Cleon is worn out from making so much Minosaur slime that he can barely walk. And you just gotta feel bad for him at this point. He was having so much fun with Weisel, and to get him taken away from him and get put with someone who doesn't even care about his feelings, you gotta feel bad about that. Well, because they're having such a hard time and because of Akane's suffering about her boyfriend, Kanalo shows up and transforms into Ryusoul Gold. And because 6 Rangers are super overpowered in their first appearances, he easily defeats the Minosaur. Oh, and also he has a power-up that he uses for his finishers. I didn't know where to put that, so I just put that here. Wow, we're only 2 episodes from the end of the review. But I would like to take this time to ask all of you what you think of these first 16 episodes. I like hearing people's opinions on things, and that's why I love Mark Satsu's History of Kamen Rider, which actually is what inspired me to do this series. So yeah, if you have seen these, tell me what you liked about these episodes in the comments. I would love to hear it. So now, back to the episodes. Kanalo talks to his Kishiryu, Mosa Rex, through water, who has told him and his sister Odo that the Land Ryusoulger tribe, which is what our main 5 heroes are from, are bad people and shouldn't be trusted. Kanalo runs into a Minosaur who can split people apart and uses it to split the 5 Ryusoulgers apart when they arrive. But when it tries to use it on Ko and Kanalo, it doesn't work due to their weak bond. Cleon comes with Odo as a hostage, and Kanalo wonders why Ko would want to help someone from the Sea Ryusoul tribe. The other Ryusoulgers return with their Kishiryu, but they can't do anything with Odo hostage. Cleon says if Kanalo defeats Kishiryu, then he will free Odo. He does, and is about to release her until Gachirias tells him it's stupid to keep that deal. But there's a reason why Kanalo did that. The electric current from the finisher canceled the magnetic reversal placed on him. He also sends Odo home with Mosa Rex. Together as Kishiryu 5 Knights, haven't seen that one in a while, they defeat the Minosaur, with a little help from Mosa Rex. Kanalo and Odo come to Yui's house to talk to them about why Mosa Rex hates the Land Ryusoul tribe. He told them about a war between the Sea and Land Ryusoul tribes, which ended in the Land tribe wanting to take the power from themselves and conquer the world. But the Ryusoulgers have never heard of this before. This time Gachirias attacks on his own, and Ko, Melto, Asuna, and Kanalo easily take him down. This is strange though, because the only other boss they have defeated before was Tank Joe, and it took the Kishiryu all together to defeat him. As expected, Gachirias isn't defeated and grows giant. They call Kishiryu 5 Knights, but they don't do so well. Because of this, Kanalo begs Mosa Rex to accept the Ryusoulgers and help them. Well, this works, and Mosa Rex transforms into Kishiryu Neptune. The episode ends with a truce between the Land and Sea Ryusoul tribes. And, well, those were the first 16 episodes of Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger. My final thoughts? Well, this show is awesome. I had such a fun time with these episodes, and I can't wait to watch the next 16. My favorite Ryusoulger right now is Kanalo, just because of how fun he is as a character. He's had some of the best moments in the show so far, even though he's only been in 3 episodes. Other than Kanalo, I really like Toa because of his connection with the first 3 Ryusoulgers. He kind of reminds me of Ren from Kamen Rider Saber because of his rivalry with Ko, except I don't want to strangle Toa. Now the villains. The villains are so fun, and all of them are memorable. The best are definitely Weisel and Cleon. Weisel's so fun and just a joy to see on screen. He might be one of my favorite Toku villains ever. I just hope they don't ruin his character for Power Rangers Dino Fury like they did with Cleon. But that's really all I have to say for right now. As for right now, and for now, I'll see you guys next time. What will be the next one? Only time will tell. Now I'm off to watch Ultraman Ace because Shout Factory literally just released it while writing the script.